And now on to the fan-favorite portion of the show. This Week in History. Trivia style. 7 questions, all with multiple choice answers. Set to medium difficulty. I see who's out there. I expect all of you to respond quickly. I don't know how the children can pop in and pop out. I don't know how they do that. But if they're playing, they should be playing and answering along with everybody else. None of this dad saying so-and-so said stuff. Or mom answering for the Chick Brew rules is what you got to say. Shut your mouth, Robert. We have done that before. I do not recommend that. We've had some on the radio. We had some contests of like who was your favorite T-Bone or Chick Brew, and all of her people were all about her, and I had to cheat a lot to win. Here we go. And now it's time for This Week in History, a trivia style. 7 questions set to medium difficulty, all with multiple choice possibilities. I will read the question, I will give you the possible answers, and then I will delay long enough for you to say your answers. If you are playing this in the future, you can still put your answers in, okay? Even if you're not watching this live. Question number 1. On June 1st, 1792, what state became the 15th state admitted to the Union? What state became the 15th state admitted to the Union? Was it Vermont, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Ohio? So you got your original 13 colonies. And then there was the 14th. And then on June the 1st, 1792, there was the 15th. What was the 15th state admitted to the Union? Was it Vermont, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Ohio? Ohio being the Japanese word for hello. Robert is going to go with hello. He's going to go with that. I am looking for your answers, please, so that we can move along, I've been in a very melodious mood today. I've been singing a lot of my life. James is going to go with Tennessee. Robert with Ohio, James with Tennessee, waiting on Jessica. And not to spoil I'm also going to go with Tennessee. I believe 14 was Kentucky. I believe 15 was Tennessee. Tennessee. And she can get her answer when she gets her answer in. She's a very busy lady. She's doing things. If she gets it in, she gets it in. If she doesn't get it in, she doesn't get it in. Or she can answer it in the future. Question number 2. On June 2nd, 1953, whose coronation was televised around the world? Whose coronation was televised around the world on June the 2nd, 1953? Oh, you got to think about who was coronated in 1953. Oh, Jessica pops in with Ohio. So Robert and Jessica go with Ohio. Me and James going with Tennessee. June 2nd, 1953. Whose coronation was televised around the world? Patrick says Ohio. Got it. We got it. Was it George VI, Charles III, Elizabeth II, or Victoria? No number. James says Elizabeth. George VI, I have to convert these Roman numbers quickly. Charles III, Elizabeth II, the second, or Victoria. There's only one correct answer. Robert is going to go with Elizabeth. Jessica's going to go with Elizabeth. And I, as well, will be going with Elizabeth II because that's who it is. That's a good one. Moving on, June 3rd, 1888. What inventor received a patent for the first practical adding machine? What inventor received a patent for the first practical adding machine? I see Cooper's answer. That makes me laugh. I got mom is answering with Cooper and dad is answering with Patrick. That's hilarious. Was it Thomas Edison, William Seward Burroughs, Alexander Graham Bell, or Nikola Tesla? I was really at Red Fox, said Elizabeth. Oh, dear Elizabeth, I'm coming. Nikola Tesla, Alexander Graham Bell, William Seward Burroughs, or Thomas Edison. I was really hoping that like George Casio would have been one of the options. That would have been fun. Who invented the freaking adding machine? That's the question. Was it Edison, Burroughs, Bell, or Tesla? I'm coming, Elizabeth. Red Fox was so good at faking heart attacks that he died on the movie set while having a heart attack. Everybody said, Rex, he's so funny. He's so funny, Rex. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I don't know why that's funny. James goes with Burroughs. I'm guessing based on numbers. My guess is going to be based on numbers, and I am guessing. Cooper says Tesla. Jess says Burroughs. Oh. Burroughs, Tesla, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, which is funny. Cooper says Tesla. James says Burroughs. Jess says Burroughs. Yes. I got that. Robert, need a real answer. Was it Edison, Burroughs, Bell, or Tesla? Burroughs or Texas Instruments. Okay. So apparently everyone's going to go with Burroughs, or a lot of people are going with Burroughs. I'm going to go with Edison. Let me explain my answer, because I don't know the answer. So if you don't know the answer, you think about the guy who invented the most things. And even though he may not have invented them, he was receiving the patent for all of the things that he invented. And that's why we know Thomas Edison as America's most prolific inventor. So I'm going to go with Edison. And there's some Burroughs and a Tesla all filled out there. Question number 4. June 4th, 1942. What major World War II battle began June 4th, 1942? Was it the Battle of Midway, the Battle of the Bulge, the Battle of Britain, or the Battle of Iwo Jima? It's June 4th. It's 1942. That's important. Was it the Battle of Midway, the Battle of the Bulge, the Battle of Britain, or the Battle of Iwo Jima? James incorrectly says D-Day because he didn't pay attention in school. June 4th, that's already wrong. 1942, that would make it more wronger. All right, now he says Midway. Robert says the Bulge. Robert doesn't know his war history. Can't do the Battle of the Bulge if you haven't made it onto the continent yet, which we didn't do on June the 4th, 1942. I'm looking for Patrick. I'm looking for Cooper. I'm looking for Jessica's answers while I take a swig of my water. I can't wait much longer. I need those answers. I need you to get those answers in before I give you the buzzer. I don't have a buzzer sound effect, do I? No, that's not a buzzer. I'll have a buzzer on there in the future for those people who like to take a long time. Cooper says Britain. Jess says Britain. Patrick is otherwise occupied. He's doing other things, I'm guessing. Dad's not answering for Patrick. Don't know. I'm going to go with James on this one. I believe it was the Battle of Midway because this is still early in the war. And those bastardos tried to come at us, and we figured it out. And that was not a good day for them. War What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. On June 5th, 1968, question number 5, June 5th, 1968, who won the California Democratic presidential primary just hours before he was assassinated? Patrick throws in midway as his response as well. If Patrick is waiting for me to give my answer so that he can copy off my exam, Patrick is wrong. Stop cheating off me, dude. Cooper's still my favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to get some brotherly strife going on there. June 5th, 1968. California Democratic presidential candidate was assassinated. Who won the California Democratic presidential primary hours before being assassinated? He was assassinated during his acceptance speech. And if you know, you know. Kennedy, Bobby, is what James says. Here are your options. Hubert Humphrey, or Richard Nixon, Robert F. Kennedy, or George McGovern. Was it Hubert Humphrey, Richard Nixon, Robert F. Kennedy, or George McGovern? James pops in with Kennedy, Bobby, one each. Senior, this is senior. Sirhan is not him just being repetitive. It is the name of the assassin. So with him throwing in that extra, anybody who hasn't put in an answer yet would assume that he has the correct answer, so everybody else is going to say Kennedy, because you can't keep your mouth shut, okay? There are other people playing the game. It is possible that they would have guessed someone else. Cooper says Kennedy. I wonder why. Everybody says Kennedy, except Robert. Oh, Kennedy. Had to be a Kennedy. Yes, of course. We all know it was Robert Kennedy. Whether you gave away the answer or your knowingness of the answer or not, Robert Kennedy killed on the stage while accepting his speech by the assassin Sirhan. June the 6th, question number 6, June the 6th, 1944. What was the code name of the Allied invasion of Normandy? It's not Normandy, it's Normandy. That's how they pronounce it. What was the code name for the Allied invasion of Normandy? Was it Operation Torch, Operation Market Garden, Operation Overlord, or Operation Husky? I hate Huskies. I have a severe dislike for Huskies, for all things Husky. Not a fan. Not a fan. Oh, Chick Brew wants to know what time. She knows what I'm doing right now, but she wants to know what time because she likes to mess with me. Stupid. Stop the things. All of the things. It should come back to normal in a second. Again, the question, June 6, 1944, was the code name for the Allied invasion of Normandy? Was it Operation Torch, Operation Market Garden, Operation Overlord, or Operation Husky? Robert says pressure. He is wrong today. He is wrong. James goes with Overlord. Cooper goes with Overlord. Jessica goes with Overlord. And Robert goes with Olive Garden. Again, you can have one funny wrong answer, and then you have to give the real answer. Now, Olive Garden was funny, so. And somebody laughed at it, so there you go. We're not going to give him another chance to answer. We're moving on. I believe the answer also to be Overlord. As a reminder to anyone that's not playing along with us, I don't know if the answers are the answers. At the end, I type in, give me the answers, and it lets us know how we did. I don't believe I'm going to go 7 for 7 this week. I try every week to be smart, but that's not easy. Question number 7, June the 7th, 1892. What famous American beverage was first sold to the public? on June the 7th, 1892? Was it Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, root beer, or Dr. Pepino, otherwise known as Dr. Pepper? It's the final question. It's the final question. June 7th, 1892. What famous American beverage was first sold to the public? Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, root beer, or Dr. Pepino? Dr. Pepino. James pops in with Coke. I have a funny story about Coke. I'll be telling it in this week's episode of the Lunsby Show. You can listen to that wherever fine Lunsby Show, wherever fine podcasts are sold. Cooper pops in with Pepsi-Cola. And someone's at my door. Yeah, my phone, even though I have it silent, still making noise. Rum and Coke. You're good with funny for at least 2 out of 7. Cooper says Pepsi. James says Coca-Cola. I don't know why I believe 1892 is it's time for the doctor. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper. Plus, he gave me an opportunity to sing that song. I'm going to go with Dr. Pepino. Cooper's going to go with Pepsi. Robert hasn't given a real answer yet. James is going to go with Coke, waiting on other answers. Not going to wait much longer. I'm typing in the words right now to say answers, please. Last chance to get your live answers in. Did it tell me to say please? When you are ready to play along, send, in quotes, answers, please, and I'll give you the answer key. Ha! Probably Amazon with stuff for the studio. I have the answers. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. I go Pepsi. I like to change. Okay. Question number 1 is going to derail all of us from going 7 for 7, except those playing in the future. Maybe you got it right. But the correct answer was Kentucky. Robert finally answers Coke. Question number 2, we all got it right. It was Elizabeth II. Question number 3, congratulations to those of you who picked William Seward Burroughs. That was the correct answer. I didn't know that. Question number 4 was the Battle of Midway. We don't enter the European theater until June the 6th, 1944 during Operation Overlord, which later leads to the Battle of the Bulge. So we couldn't have done the Battle of the Bulge because we hadn't made it into Europe yet, or occupied Europe yet. Question number 5, we all got it right. He was killed in the hotel kitchen in one of the most shocking moments in American political history, because we don't get to see the film of his brother until many, many years later. June the 5th, 1968 was Robert F. Kennedy's assassination. June 6, 1944, I think we all got it right. We all said Operation Overlord. Market Garden, if I remember correctly, was the deception operation where they made it look like they were going to do the Overlord from a different position. I believe that they are tied together. And finally, finalmente, the last answer, Dr. Pepino. June 7th, 1892, it was I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm a pepper, and I got the question right. Dr. Pepper officially predates Coca-Cola by about a year. Nobody is entirely sure what all 23 flavors were, but everyone claims they can taste them. Cinnamon is definitely one of the 23 flavors. Cinnamon and sugar. And the Cocas and the Colas. I love me some Dr. Pepper. All right, get your hands out of my pocket. The only reason I didn't pick Battle of the Bulge. Man, I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time. You got me interested there, Coop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this week. I thank you for playing along with me as we do every Sunday morning at 10:30. We do the supplemental and we do those three things. We talk about the national days of the week. We talk about a comedy, community, charity event we want you to know about. We wrap it all up with This Week in History Trivia style. It's a fun way to start your Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday with a lot less profanity at the beginning. Again, sorry about that. If you're listening to the version that hasn't been edited yet. Lunsby, stay safe out there. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper to be